And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Thursday, November 9th. I am Josh Engleman here to break down this two-game slate. Coming off of 14 games yesterday, not as exciting to have just a two-gamer for today, but we are here and we are ready to go. Hit that like button as you get in the door. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Solid enough night. I was hoping for a little bit better. I got 3 into the top 100. Ended up probably like 20% or so. But I really thought I could have had a better night. Jordan Hawkins, I'm over that experience, that's for sure. Didn't really get to Christian Wood last night on my swaps. I had like close to 50%, somewhere in the mid 40s of Jokic, and I had like 20% Embiid. So when I got to the point where I could make that swap, I really didn't have a lot of opportunities to drop down and then like reallocate that salary. I just didn't have the positions open. So I ended up not getting there, which was incredibly helpful. But it also, I just wasn't able to like unlock anything. Like I said, 3 into the top 100. I'll never be mad about that at all. If I could do that, if I could do 3 into the top 100 for a month, I would probably win once or twice. So I could handle that. And now we're here. Two-gamer. I'm not playing this slate tonight. No chance. I'm just going to cook some dinner for the wife and enjoy the night. But I will be on, excuse me, I will be on everything. Contenders videos for sure. Strategy show, deeper dive. I'm not going anywhere, but this one's not going to be for me. Taking the night off. Back tomorrow for 7 or 8 game tournament slate. Going to be great. Hit my prize picks card again. 6-0 on the week. That's feeling pretty good. I'm going to hate it today. So I'm going to have to make 2 plays that I don't really want. And that never works. Crispy, what's up? Never works. But no, I felt good. I didn't have time to put the tables together this morning. But I was like negative 2% expected ROI on our other source and like positive 4% on ours. So right around dead neutral, which I'm okay with in this particular sense. But I've been working on a couple things, just been running out of time before I get to lock in terms of changing the way that I choose my lineup. So I'm hoping that can bump me back up a little bit and maybe get me away from the heavy chalk at the top and sort of balance myself out of it. That's the way that I'm picturing it in my head. Not that I'm upset. The NBA season, while I haven't had any sort of wins, nothing into the top 10 or anything over the first 2 weeks, I'm pretty happy with where everything stands. So, but for now, I guess we just get into it. Get this one out of the way. I mean, I'm figuring, half hour, 40 minutes, something like that. I'll probably drag my heels a little bit too much, but there's just not going to be a lot to say, and I'm going to have to say it 3 times today. So it's just one of those. Josh, how do you play a double up differently than a tournament when it's only a 2-game slate? Same as normal. You're playing in the double up. You're playing essentially the highest projected / chalkiest lineup you can make. A tournament is a completely different process for you. But a double up on a day like today is no different than a double up any other day. You're simply just you're probably starting with the highest projected lineup that you could play. Maybe you make a pivot in that lineup in order to grab a guy that's significantly more owned in a spot while giving up very little in projection, but you're basically playing something close to your personal optimal in a double up. You're not doing that. At least not in my eyes, you're not doing that. Some other content will tell you differently, but the optimal is probably not going to be a lineup that is significantly positive ROI. Oh, I almost took a sip of this. Significantly positive ROI in a larger field contest. So yeah, rise and grind, everybody. You guys see the banner. Let's get into this. I want to sip my coffee. If I'm picking it up and almost drinking it while I'm doing this, then you know that like it's time to drink the coffee. Yeah, special thanks to Malcolm Brogdon. Look, he was never going to hold up playing 36 minutes a night every night. If he could have done that, he'd be doing that everywhere. So there's that. Thoughts on the Giannis ejection? If it's the clip that I saw where he like flexed off the dunk and mean mugged, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I don't mind the technical for it, although I also think that is exceptionally lame. I think there needs to be some sort of distinction of what requires a person to be removed from the game entirely. That punishment doesn't fit the crime. If you want to be like, okay, you can't do that, so you give up a free throw and the ball. Okay. But it's silly if it's just like, oh, and you're not allowed to play anymore. You were excited when you did. Like, that's dumb. That's super dumb. There's got to be a middle ground there. Ashton, completely agree. I understand why it exists, and I don't mind it. But just make it shouldn't, you should never be able to take somebody off the floor for it. If you want to penalize it, that's fine. I think that's reasonable. But I also wouldn't penalize it. Right. S&P. Exactly. It's just that the punishment of being like, yo, you don't get to play any longer is insane for what that is. If you get ejected for like, motherfucking the ref or like flagrants or something, it's totally fine. But like non-contact, I just dunked and liked it is a real bad way to get the gate. And like it's one of those things where these guys are playing at like such a high adrenaline level in that moment. Like I understand you need to be smarter, but at the same time, like there's a little bit of just reactionary thing that you can't stop. And it harms nobody. All right. Well, we ready to do this? Let's get into it. Thank you guys for being here. It's always great to see everybody. It's going to be a thin crowd today. That's okay. If you're here, hit the like button. I got a coffee. I hope you guys do as well. You know what? When I'm done this, I might go get a Taco Bell breakfast something and test that bad boy out. A little fire sauce on top. Ooh, sounds good. So, with that said, cheers to you guys. Rise and grind. Whatever you've got to join me for this cheers, do it because clink. That's the cheers. Best it's been. No doubt. 100%. That's the best coffee I've had this season. Yeah. That's it. That's going to be it. All right, well, let's get into it. Kaboom. Nope, that ain't the one. Who would want that view? There we go. Okay, I want to ask you guys this. So this is how I normally have it. Hold on. Where is it? Is that okay? Or is that too small? Because I kind of like the side view. But I also don't love the way that this looks. Do you prefer my normal view or the one that I have on the screen right now? Boop or boop? I don't know. A little too small. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. The NBA treat promo is no longer. I wish I could have tipped you guys off to that yesterday, but I fumbled the ball on that one, unfortunately. So that's why I don't have the banner on the top of the screen or that notch cut out. We're working on a new one. So just wanted to check. Philip, that's not a thing. Well, let's get it started. Milwaukee Bucks, 4-point favorites in Indiana, 243 total. I'm guessing. All right, so obviously we can't read too much into the Bucks because they played yesterday. So we have no idea who's on their injury report. We'll need to get that information later today. Not a big deal. Same story for the Indiana side. So I'm treating it as if everybody that could play will play. So I'm going to assume that Chris Middleton. Ooh, Excel just crashed. That's not fun. That's not fun. That's why you don't see it on the screen right now. Excel crashed when I opened up another window. So let me just resave it, and then I can get that shared for you guys again. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I'm just going to assume that everybody that can play will play. That's the way that I'm trying to get that message across. All right, workbook is there. You're half in the minority there, Brandon. I like Philly a lot too, but I don't think they have it. They have zero chance. If they make a move, I can agree with you. They have no chance as constituted. But they could make one move and be in the mix for sure. But they're short a bit. All right, so we got this shared again. Good. Now let's open up that window again so that I can get to my minutes table. Boom. Make that a little bit bigger. Now we're talking. Let's just hope it doesn't crash again because, well, wasn't fun. Yeah, OG would be like a massive, massive help for sure for that team. I mean, there's nothing they can do. There's basically nothing anybody can do to get into the top two. If there are no injuries going on in the league, like if we're just talking full strength, I'm not sure there's a team in the league that can do anything to pass Denver or pass Boston. But yeah, look, Philly needs to make a move. They don't have enough firepower. All right, Milwaukee. I'm going to assume that Chris Middleton is playing today. We ended up getting 37 minutes out of Jay Crowder yesterday. Crazy. Brooke Lopez, I got in for 29 minutes. That feels about right for today. Maybe I'll make it 28. That lets us get Bobby Portis in for... Are they just like legit splitting minutes? Pretty close. $33 for Giannis. Sure. Only played 21 minutes. Probably feeling pretty fresh. Fresh as the daisy. All right. Jay Crowder is averaging 28 minutes a game. Can't go there, but I think 26 makes some sense. You got Pat Connaughton playing about 20 minutes a game. We've got Malik Beasley playing like 26. 35 for Dame. Seems fine. 15 for Campaign. Ooh, okay. Let's go 16 Campaign. That will let me go to Chris Middleton for, let's say 22. That allows 12 for Beauchamp. could handle that, I think. Certainly helps. Certainly helps S&P. Nick, and it helps Philly just in general too. Having Nick Nurse is just going to be better than what they've had previously. So that's going to be the Milwaukee side. Not much there. Indiana should be equally as interesting. I don't even think that I need to make I'm going to have to bump Benedict Mathurin, who had a massive game yesterday. Mathurin played 38 minutes. I mean, this is a dude that was just playing 23 minutes a night, 22 minutes a night. Most that he had before that was 25 and a half. And then he just steps into 38 minutes yesterday. Like it's nothing. Just like it's nothing. Yeah, Pacers are, I mean, their offense is super fun. Their defense is less so. All right, so Halliburton 34, I guess. Bruce Brown 31, 29 to Turner. I mean, he's really not playing 29 minutes a night, but I think that's the intention. S&P, well done. Jalen Smith for 17. Yeah, 24 to Toppin. Or I don't really think I have much to change here. I guess Nembhard played. I mean, I only had him in for 21 minutes. That's what he plays. I don't really see a path to giving Benedict Mathurin any minutes like that because he doesn't play them. So I'm going to stick 25. I'm going to leave my same exact rotation from yesterday. So let's look at a couple props just to clean up the points quickly. Just see if we're on the right track. So for the Pacers, points prop on Tyrese Halliburton is 21.5, shaded to the over. I got him at 22. Feels good. Miles Turner's at 16.5. Exactly where I have him. Benedict Mathurin at 12.5, juice to the over. I have 14 already. Perfect. Bruce Brown 12.5 to the under. Perfect. Buddy Hield 13.5 to the under. Perfect. Absolutely nailed it. Yeah, Ken, they're an interesting. I think Minnesota would be the team I would want to call most improved. Is anybody really surprised that like Houston brought some adults in the room and like they became better? Like people are gonna overreact to Dylan Brooks in life, but like bringing in Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks and getting Ime Udoka, like this was gonna happen by default. It's not like it's Jalen Green that's leading the charge. Şengün's been solid in my mind, at least. But I'm not a big Rockets believer. That's not my team. All right, Milwaukee props. Giannis's points prop is 27.5. I got 28.4. Perfect. 25.5 to Dame. I'm a little higher, but I don't mind that. Brook Lopez is at 12.5. Slight juice to the under. I got slight juice to the over. I'm cool with everything I have here. So as we look at game one, the value of 4K Obi Toppin is going to be a bit of a problem. It's so interesting because Toppin's going to get more minutes, but Jalen Smith is close to running him down because he's such a better per minute fantasy performer. So it ends up being like pretty close for those guys, but in very different ways. I'm fine with $7,100 Turner. Halliburton for 10K. It'll just become a comparison to everybody else. Let's look at the Milwaukee side, because that'll tell you how we feel about Halliburton with regard to Giannis. Well, with regard to Dame, I guess. Giannis 10-7. Probably what I like the most there. 9,500 for Dame. I think I would rather go to Halliburton over Dame, but that is tight. That's a close one for sure. 5,800 for Brook Lopez won't be much of an issue. I mean, neither one of these teams are looking good from a value perspective. You're grabbing the Jalen Smiths and the Obi Toppins of the world. Oh, I have 9 minutes going to TJ McConnell that I need to take away from Indiana. 1, 2. So they are running a 9-man rotation. But for me to reallocate those 9 minutes, I guess we're going to give another minute to Jalen Smith. Bruce Brown's where I need him to be. Aaron Nesmith, I think, can take on another minute. Andrew Nembhard is good. I'll take Mather into 26. I'll leave Healed at 25. I really do. I do have 6 minutes left over. I am going to hide them now again, but it's not just going to be McConnell. I'm going to hide 3 on McConnell, 3 on Isaiah Jackson. Yeah, there's just not a lot of value out there. If you want to go back to Mather and after what you saw yesterday, I understand it, but he will not look like a priority because you can't give him those minutes. Final game. I mean, it's pretty easy. Not too much to this one. Let's go to the Atlanta Hawks. Now, the good news is for this game, these guys didn't play yesterday. Neither Atlanta or Orlando. So, for Atlanta, everybody that can normally play is going to play. No Wendell Carter Jr. still for Orlando. No Gary Harris. Looks like John Isaac is probable. Q-tag on Markelle Fultz. With Wendell Carter Jr. out, I'm hoping with Isaac playing, we get to see Franz, Isaac, Banchero, 3, 4, 5. I don't think John Isaac's ever going to be able to make it, but those guys playing 3, 4, 5, I think is what unlocks the ultimate ceiling of Orlando. I really like the Paolo Banchero at the 5 in the future, and having someone like Isaac and more size like Franz is what I want to see. We're not going to see it enough, which is a shame. All right, let's look at Atlanta. This shouldn't take too long. This is a team that does not really mess around too much. I think Capella has played 25 minutes a game. Onyeka Okongwu has played basically the opposite side of that. I think 26 for Capella is okay. I think 22 for Onyeka Okongwu is okay. Jalen Johnson for 30 is probably a hair low. Looks like AJ Griffin not a part of the rotation any longer. So I'm going to go 32 to Jalen Johnson. I think we can maintain 27 to Bay. 30 for DeAndre Hunter can certainly become 31. 35 for Trey, I feel pretty good with. Although, in theory, that could be 36. 35 for Trey, 35 for DeJounte, I'm okay with. 24 to Bogdan feels about right. That is going to leave me 8 additional minutes. They did have Garrison Matthews. Did he get that rotation in real part of that game? Gotta take my pills too, by the way. All right, he did. So let's go 4 minutes Garrison Matthews, 4 minutes AJ Griffin. I mean, there's so little to actually project for Atlanta. Orlando, obviously, in a very different story because of the fact that they don't have Wendell Carter Jr. So I'm actually going to cut the whole rotation again because it's easier to build teams like this when you got to start from scratch. So I'm guessing we're getting Goga Batadze again in the starting lineup. I do want to look at that last Orlando game and see what we got out of it. That was... There we go. 15-point loss to Dallas. Goga didn't close. They closed with Franz, Banchero, Anthony, Mo Wagner, and kind of Joe Ingles, kind of Anthony Black. You can go either direction. So I think we go 25 Goga, 23 Mo Wagner. I think it's kind of wild. 20. So that was 22. I think it's kind of wild they didn't go to any Banchero at the 5 against Dallas. Like, who were you worried about there? All right, so we get Banchero in for 34. I think we get Franz in for 34. Not too much else to worry about here. I get, we have to put Fultz in since he's questionable. I think 29 feels about right. And then we get Suggs for 26. Cole Anthony plays like 25 minutes a night. We got 44 minutes left over. It's going to be Joe Ingles, John Isaac. So I think Isaac just plays the other 14 minutes that Banchero gives up there. I think we can get 14 to Ingles. And then do we give Anthony Black some run? It seems like we do. I think we do something like that. Let's check out props on the Orlando side, which clearly Fultz probably won't be there. Yeah, we only have Banchero, Franz, and Suggs, but that's okay. Banchero points prop is 21.5. I got him at 19.8. So what is Paolo Banchero's usage rate this season? Banchero on the year, 25% usage rate. I got him at 24. If I go to 25, that gets him to 20.6. Much more reasonable. Franz is 21.5, juice to the under. I got him at 21. I think that looks okay. Franz, 26% usage rate so far this season. Don't expect that to fully continue. Hopefully it does. And then Suggs is at 10.5, juice to the over. That's where I have him. I'm okay with what we've got here. That'll work. And then on the Atlanta side, we're going to have this done pretty quickly. It's going to be a hard slate. So Trey, I got 23.5 is the line. I got him at 23.9. DeJounte, 21.5. I got him at 20.3. Might as well look at Atlanta usage rates just to check. Trey's at 29. Murray at 25.25. Perfect. Perfect. Hunter, 13.5. Perfect. Jalen Johnson, 11.5. Big juice. Perfect. Capella, 9.5. Might be a tad high. Is the usage for Capella down? No. No. Same as it always is. All right. Feeling good. So let's look at Orlando. Look, if Fultz plays, I think he's the best play on Orlando, and I don't think it's close. 5,100 for Fultz. Yeah. Markelle Fultz is the guy I want the most if he is in for Orlando tonight, which is obviously complicating, but at the same time, you're going to have plenty of swaps, so it won't be all that bad. He's point guard only. You know, Suggs is $500 more, but you'll probably be able to move that around if you need to. And then, I don't know. I like Paolo for 8K a little tiny bit more than I like Franz for 74. It's pretty close. 54 for Goga is fine. 48 power forward center for Mo Wagner seems fine. That's kind of the 5 guys you could actually go to. Cole Anthony for 6K just feels a bit too aggressive. On the Atlanta end, and guys, 122 of you, we're at the top of the hour. Hit that like button. We're going to run some crunches shortly. I mean, $4,200 Onyeka Okongwu is going to be very popular today as a backup center. And then I think Sadiq Bey is underrepresented at 4,300 too. If he's going to be playing like 26, 27 minutes a night. So after that for Atlanta, like Trey seems like a pretty tough sell. I think I try to get to Halliburton faster. Jalen Johnson's already at 6,300. That seems a little pricey. I still like Capella. The relationship of ownership between Capella and Okongwu will be interesting. Riley Cooper, big thanks for the super chat. Big thanks for the Zach LaVine pick last night. Hit for 1,500. Everybody thought you were crazy. I mean, you didn't have a great day, did he? I appreciate it, and I'm glad you hit. I had 46 fantasy points. All right, that'll work. That'll work. All right, let's run some crunches and let's get out of here. We don't have enough to talk about today. Tomorrow will be a big one. We've got tournament games. It's a real size slate. Tomorrow's the one we're coming after. So get ready for tomorrow. We'll do a thorough dive through the slate tomorrow. But for now, let's run a crunch and find out what we have for today. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's change the screen up a little bit. Present, stop, present, share, bang. Here we go. All right, optimal lineups on DraftKings. That should help too. 252.7. That's the optimal by 0.6. Halliburton, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Sadiq Bey, Obi Toppin, Miles Turner, Markelle Fultz, Giannis, and Onyeka Okongwu. That's interesting. Fultz made 49 of the top 50 lineups. Sadiq Bey made 43. I don't think that's that crazy, though. Like, he's out there scoring mid-20s every single game. He plays at least 26 minutes, if not more. Does a little bit of everything. I don't hate it. Obi Toppin showing up a lot is gross. We'll see what that ends up looking like later on. But I'm not surprised by what I see. Add the randomness and see what it looks like. 150 lineup package. 100% randomness. What do we get? Fultz at the top. Bogdanovic next. Miles Turner. Sadiq Bey. Obi Toppin. That's the top 5. Banchero. Hallie. Jalen Smith. Then it's Murray and Clint Capella. As you can see, no Bucks showing up anywhere. Like, you can get to some Giannis, obviously, some Dame, obviously, 30%, 25%. They're not unowned, but like they are clearly, it's so much easier to get to like the Atlanta-Orlando game. And especially like Atlanta's rotation. These guys, Atlanta's the team you want today. Let's see what it looks like on FanDuel. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's different. Make sure to check out Contenders videos in a little bit. Make sure you're watching my prize pick stuff on the Odd Shopper channel, guys. I am printing money right now. You don't want to miss that heater. What else? Strategy show with Adam will be probably a quick one. Probably we'll get through that quick. Deeper dive with Adam later tonight. A bit less so. So make sure you're watching. All right. Optimal lineup on FanDuel, 291.3. It's the optimal by 0.66. Fultz and Lillard, Buddy Hield and Mathurin, Franz Wagner, Bruce Brown, Paolo, Giannis, Goga. So Giannis should be pretty easy to get to. He made all 50 lineups on FanDuel with no randomness. Bruce Brown in 96%. But with Giannis, with the way that you have to have two power forwards, it really makes it easier. Let's see what FanDuel looks like with a little bit of rando, and then let's get out of here. Oh, so simple today, guys. Oh, so simple. All right, 150 lineups with 100% randomness. Dame Lillard to the top spot. Giannis 2, Murray 3, Bruce Brown 4, Jalen Johnson 5. Then you get Franz, Paolo, Buddy Hield, Trae Young, and Tyrese Halliburton. You're going to like the names of like the guys in your lineup. It's all going to be about hitting that 4K 22-minute bench dude. That's going to be the key to today's slate. But you're going to get a ton of content breaking it down. If you don't feel like you have a good finger on the pulse of today's slate, while you were watching, you belong to a different site, because you're going to get that feeling from watching stochastic content today. Halliburton and Giannis are the only guys above 10K on FanDuel, if that matters. Trae at 9K is next closest. Trae Young is more expensive than Damian Lillard. Raise your hand if you expected that this year. Guys, that's it. 37 minutes. We got an easy one today. Tomorrow is the day, though. We'll dig in deep for that tournament slate. That should be good. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I just don't want to be live anymore. But I'm happy to have you guys. I'll see you guys at 10 o'clock for the strategy show. This was The Process.